Hello, I'm Zorab. This is Byther Farm. Today I'm going to talk about gardening on a windy site. I'm now hiding in the least windy place in our garden, which is directly behind the duck house. So I'm crouched down low, so hopefully the wind is passing mostly over the top of my head. So when we bought this place 3 years ago, this was an open field. It just had posts and wire to mark out the edges of it, and it was November, and it was mighty windy. Now we hadn't really noticed the wind when we were looking around it in the summer, but sure enough, by autumn we were very well aware of it. So in the first couple of months, my friend Jane and I started putting in a hedge around the perimeter, and we started over on that side, which is the east side, which is at the time is predominantly where the winds were coming from. They were easterlies. How wrong could we have been? For a short time each year we get easterly winds, and the rest of the time they're westerlies. So the wind is coming from the opposite direction. It actually took me nearly a year to start planting the hedge on the west boundary, and since then I have been finding ways to slow down the wind as it travels across the site. So I thought I'd wait for a much less windy day to talk to you about some of the things that we do to help avoid the wind ripping across this site quite so much. One of those is hedging. When we moved in, this large Leylandii hedge was already here. It's really not to my taste, but at the moment it does the job. And so very slowly I am putting in new hedging along here, but I'm using native hedging. So that's blackthorn and hornbeam, wild cherries, there's some wild pear in there, guelder rose. So there's a whole selection, some rowan, some willow. So a mixed selection of trees that will grow. They'll provide pollen in their flowers and then fruit at the end of the year. There are a few hazels in there, which will then obviously provide some nuts as well. They'll hopefully offer shelter to the local wildlife and look really attractive too. When we moved in, this fence was here, making a paddock. So I attached this windbreak fabric to the back of it here. It's going to be here until these plants have established themselves, which they have almost done now. I need to find one more to go in here, but other than that, this row certainly is now providing her some windbreaks, so this can come off very soon. I don't really want it on here forever. It looks okay, but it doesn't look great, and I'd rather just have the plants and not the green plastic. So bit by bit there will be a hedge growing there. I've then got the pallet fencing, which, you know, aesthetically is not terribly pleasing, but it does a job for now, and it can stay here for a good few years. And then within the vegetable garden, I'm also putting raised beds in and raising the sides a bit higher than I need them to be, giving a little bit more wind protection to the plants in here. And also I make these tunnels to protect the brassicas, but this one's got onions in it. Not only does it keep predators off, but it also provides a little bit of wind protection. And then on this side of the vegetable garden there's another pallet fence, but I've also made these into compost bays, which give really good protection. So this middle section has protection from some trees. I've planted a lot of fruit trees in this food forest, and there are a lot of fruit bushes going in as well, and the hope is that all of that will just help slow down the flow of the air as it comes across the site. And then on this side of the field we've got Big White's pen over there. Big White is free to roam in this area at the moment. That's becoming my market garden. That's just what I'm calling it. And then you can see across the side at the back here. This is the hedge that I put in 3 years ago. It's actually starting to look really good now. So it's definitely got to 3 feet high all the way around. Lots of it is up to 4 feet high. The poplars are considerably taller, and there are a lot of willows which I'm about to cut back down to the ground. But this hedge is definitely starting to do a hedge thing, and this is really what I want to be happening over on the other side. Hello Boise, how are you doing? How are you doing, my lovely? Hello, how are you? Oh, you're such a good boy. Yes you are. Oh, I know. What a good chap. He won't be very pleased with me now. He tolerates being picked up, but it's not his favourite thing. So all across this site I do as much as I can to just keep on slowing down the flow of the wind across it. One of the hardest things is it shakes the camera constantly as it's blowing across, so sorry about the moving camera. So here we are in the veg garden. Most of the vegetables lean that way, where the wind has blown them that way. That's why I'm trying to raise these beds a little bit, so you can see the asparagus bed here is really quite deep, but the soil inside of it is only to about halfway, and the rest of that is to protect the asparagus spears as they're growing, that they don't get too damaged by the wind. And likewise I am working my way across. I'm trying to make the beds a bit deeper, just to give that little bit more protection. Of course, one of the other things that is worth doing is to grow crops that can cope with the cold and the wind. So very tall crops have to stake, or try and find the least windy section of the garden. Things like purple sprouting broccoli seem to not worry about the wind. They do fall over, but they grow back up again, so that's fine. And they continue to provide us with a really nice crop of food every year. So this isn't a perennial, but each year I sow it, and it seems to be fine every year. To raise my seedlings, mostly I use the greenhouse until the worst of the winter and spring weather has passed. Even in summer there is a pretty constant breeze across here. The days that it's still, I usually comment about how still it is. But so I use the greenhouse to raise the seedlings, harden them off slowly, and bring them out. And from then on in, they just have to cope with it. So there's a brief look at what I do to help me grow food on a very windy site. And so wherever you are in the world and whatever you've got planned for today, I hope it's a good one. And I also hope you'll join me again next time.